I'm just doing the same old seasoning that I always do. Lowry seasoned salt, peppercorn melange, and granulated garlic. We're going to grill up some steaks with a grill pan because we don't want to go out and freeze our asses off because it's like 4,000 below zero out there. And we can mimic a grill if we get the pan really hot. We get this pan going on medium-high heat, like about 7.5. We're going to let it heat up for about a good 15 minutes, so it's just screaming in pain hot. And then we're going to fire these up. We're going to sear them, mark them, and then we're going to finish them in a 500-degree oven. We'll bring them up to, we're going to do this one medium, this one medium rare. Then we're going to do some classic sautéed mushrooms, and hopefully everything will work out. If I remember what the hell I'm doing. So what we want to do is season the meat, and you want the seasoning to soak in. So you don't just season it and then throw it on the grill, because then all the seasoning falls off. So
it's like a lot of seasoning.
Oh, of course, man. You want it to taste good, right? And then we're going to do the same thing on side two. You'll see what we'll do is we'll stop that for a minute. We're going to let this rest and let the seasoning soak in for about 7 minutes or so, and then you'll see how it's soaking in. It won't look like that anymore. It's starting to set into the meat. We're going to turn it over, do it again, and then we're going to fire it up so we can. You guys go have a drink or smoke or whatever the hell you do, and we'll be back shortly. Oh, by the way, Windschuler's bar cheese. The shit. The shit. You rolling? Yeah. So, see how the seasoning's setting in? So now when we throw it on the grill pan, it's not going to all fall. Some of it will come off, but most of it is going to be in the flesh rather than falling off and burning on the grill pan. So what we're going to do is flip it over and season side two, and then we're going to go ahead and fire it up. So we're just going to do, there we go, lower seasoned salt. I learned this from Bill at Lakos, Chef Bill. Lakos, Muskegon, one of the greatest restaurants ever, right? You'd see him back there, and he'd know it's closed now. But you'd see him back there, big old smile on his face, huge black guy, right? And always smiling, always happy. And he'd have this shaker. It was metal, you know, like in a professional kitchen, you always have like a metal, so nothing melts, you know. And it's just like a metal shaker. And we're like, what the hell is in there, Bill? What are you putting on those steaks? And he goes back and he grabs the container and he says, this Lowry seasoned salt. The secret. Best seasoning for meat on the planet. Never found a better one. Peppercorn melange is all the peppercorns together, all the colors of the pepper. Then you get all the flavor. The whole bouquet, rather than just the heat of the black. You got the sweetness of the pink and the red and the green and all that stuff, right? Whole blast of flavor. And again, like I said, this looks like a lot of seasoning, but it's a very thick piece of meat. Trust me, you want to season it. You can't put seasoning on a steak after the fact. That's abysmal. It's just, you know, it'll fall off, and you know, you want the seasoning in the flesh, not bouncing off the top of it, right? So then what we're going to do is we're going to fire these babies up. We're going to go the typical cross hash technique, right? You've seen it a million times.
Do this.
Yeah, there you go.
Light.
We're going to do it. Cook it for about, so we're at 717. I like to turn it like at about 3 minutes. And because they're so thick, they're not going to cook all the way on the stove. We're going to finish them in the oven. We're going to get this nice smoky flavor. The grill pan's at 7.5 to 8.
Smells good.
All right, now see what's happening here with the heat. Then this seasoning is going to soak in as well.
You don't cover it or anything?
Cover it? No. No.
What are you doing?
I'm breaking up the mushrooms.
You're not cutting them. See, he's not slicing them.
No, I'm not cutting.
He's just tearing them
like
up
the
with his
Italian
fingers.
grandmother, just using my fingers here, breaking them apart. So it's more rustic. Yeah, I don't want that.
It tastes rusty, is that what you're saying?
That perfect clear
rusty taste?
cut look. So okay, we're gonna flip these bitches open. Now look at that. See? This is what you want. See that really dark, beautiful, crusty char? We're smoking the shit out of our house. We'll never get the smell out of the drapes. But, you know, hey, it's going to smell like a restaurant. You get a pan really hot so it's like a grill. And you get that wonderful smoky flavor. So now we're going to cook on side 2. It's still going to be raw in the dead center, and then we're going to finish it in the oven. What I'm doing here is I got 8 ounces of mushrooms. I'm gonna cut up a shallot and do a heaping tablespoon of garlic and a combination of fresh herb melange, and we're gonna do some classic sautéed mushrooms to accompany the steak. And then I'm gonna show you a trick on roasting a steak that I learned from Benton Steakhouse from Chef Jay Knickerbocker and Joseph Rivera, who I was a proud sauté chef for years. And we're gonna show you a trick for resting steaks to just so the muscles relax and the juices settle, the blood comes to a rest, so that when you cut into it, it doesn't all run out. And it's sealed, and it's just unctuously wonderful.
Resting steaks?
Resting the steak. Okay. You gotta let it rest.
I never heard of that.
Yep, you gotta let it rest, and you gotta rest it in something special. We have a special thing we're gonna rest it in, which is the secret. That's why the Benton Steakhouse was one of the best steakhouses in Grand Rapids, Michigan for years. And now I'm gonna spill the secret because they're closed. And if the chefs want to sue me, they can try and find me. Sorry, Jay and Joe.
All right, stop. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. It's filming.
Can I talk now? Okay. Now take a look here. See how the steak's cooking up on the outside? It's going to cook from the outside first and then cook in. So it cooks on the outside edge and then the center's still raw. What we want is to close that gap. See where it's still pink? Once that gap gets closed, then we're going to go into the oven with it, okay? And then finish it until this one should be medium, this one should be mid-rare if I still know what the hell I'm doing. Crust mount.
So, what are these for?
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to finish the Benton Steakhouse. The chef was really big on fresh herbs, and always add fresh herbs at the end off the heat. Okay, so just the residual heat in the pan will cause the oils to release, but if you cook them on the heat, then they start to turn gray and they look like shit. So you always add them off the heat at the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to saute the mushrooms. I'll show you how to do that. Build it step by step, and then when we're done, we're gonna take I think it's to use like a blend of herbs. I got thyme, rosemary, and chive. And just a mix of herbs. It's a really cool blast of flavor, with a mixture of the herbs.
Okay.
So we're just going to chop them up and have a blend, and then that's how we're going to finish the mushrooms.
Right.
It's going to be sauteed in butter, nothing fancy. We're not making a fancy sauce. This is a classic grilled steak, sauteed mushrooms, just in butter.
Okay.
In the style of the Benton steak.
All right.
Okay, so you see how we're even, right? You can see it's even, like the brown going to the pink in the middle, all the way up. It's even, so we got to even cook, all right? Now we've got the beautiful sear on both sides. We're going to finish it in the oven. We're going to pop it in the oven, then bring it up to the temp where we want it to be. So we're just going to move like this, right into the oven. And I'm going to guess about 5 minutes. Should put...
what's the temp?
Should put the one at medium, the thinner one at medium, and the other one at medium rare. And I want
what temperature do you have?
We want it still bleeding.
You got it at 500?
We want it still moving. Right, 500. Anybody that, I mean, this is USDA prime, right? You want medium, rare. You don't want well done. If you guys know somebody that orders a steak well done, you really should just shoot them and put them out of their misery. I mean, because seriously, you might as well order a burger. I mean, it's like horse meat. It still has marks where the jockey was hitting it. I mean, just okay. We're gonna take them out, and we're gonna check them. Now, this is what I learned from Chef Joe Rivera at the Benton Steakhouse. Okay, what you do? Come here. Is you press real gently on the thickest part of the steak. Now, see the blood pool right there? The color of that blood tells you what the inside is. It's really easy to cook a steak. Anybody can do this. It's moron's delight, right? See the blood? Okay. Yep. Right now you got a perfect medium rare. The color of the blood is going to tell you what the flesh looks like on the inside. So if you want it more rare, you pull it out before it was even bleeding, because rare is a cool red center. The blood's not even running yet. Now this is medium rare. There's going to be a perfect medium rare in the center. Now if you guys want medium, I'll cook it up a little bit longer. You want that red blood to turn a little bit more pink. It'll be a more pinkish color. That's medium, right?
No.
The medium well is to the point to where the blood's almost gone. It's almost running clear. And well done you know, like I said, Louis Benton Steakhouse, melted butter, okay? Very simple. Melted butter. We're gonna rest it in melted butter. So we're gonna take the steaks, okay? And we're gonna roll them around in this beautiful butter. It's gonna seal it. And we're gonna let it rest so the juices settle. And you would not believe the tenderness and the flavor. We're gonna let them rest for a good 10 minutes, okay? And then we're gonna do the sauteed mushrooms while they're resting. Just like so, off the heat, okay? You want the residual warmth of the burner in the oven below, but you don't want them on the heat or they'll continue to cook. You don't want to cover them because they'll continue to cook. You want them to just sit at a residual temperature of about, you know, maybe 80 degrees or something like that, you know, so they're not continuing to cook anymore. They're going to stay warm because of the residual heat from the oven, but they're not going to cook. And we just kind of keep rolling them around in this melted butter. Look at that. And that's in the style of Louis Benton. We'll let that rest 10 minutes so the muscles relax, the juices settle. That way when we cut into it, the blood doesn't all run out and then you're eating a piece of shoe butter, right? So while you're doing that, we're going to saute the mushrooms. So I'm going to crank this pan up to I'm going to crank this pan up to kill. I want it screaming in pain because we want these mushrooms to get color on them. Sear them, get them really dark, okay? We're gonna, now, at Louis Benton, they would always cook in clarified butter. And that's where you melt the butter down, remove the fat solids so it doesn't burn. So you can cook at high temp. The chefs at Louis Benton liked butter because it has more flavor than like olive oil or something like that. So, or a different flavor, I should say. And, you know, as they said to me one time, hey, you're not these people's personal trainer. Your job is to make the food taste good, not to worry about diets, okay? So anyway, we're gonna heat the pan, and then we'll do a real quick saute of the mushrooms, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm prepping the herbs. Typically, what you do is you know, especially in a professional kitchen and restaurant, because we're busy and we're doing lots of volume, you know, you'd finely chop it with a knife. But I'm just picking it. You know, like tearing little chunks, because I like the more rustic thing, and it just releases the essential oils. Yeah. And it's not that perfect cut. You know, we're not doing the French thing here.
Plus, it makes your fingers smell good.
We're not French Nazis, exactly. And then you can smell your fingers for the rest of the night. So what I got here is some fresh chive, and I got some fresh rosemary, and I have thyme. And we just got to blend this, and we're going to finish with that. Those now, what we do, good. Aren't they looking beautiful? Now what you do, what we do in Louis Benton, see, every few minutes or so, we just kind of give it a turn, see, and just let it just sit in that beautiful butter, right? It stopped cooking, but it's staying warm. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to get ready to saute those mushrooms. Give me about a minute.
Okay.
And I'll get ready. Now the trick is you want to constantly keep tossing these guys, right? Constantly keep tossing. What's going to happen first? A mushroom is a natural born sponge, okay? So what it's going to do, first thing it's going to do is it's going to soak up all that butter. You know, it's just a sponge, right? So see how the pan's dry all of a sudden? Alright, so it soaks up the butter. Then what's going to happen, we're not going to season right now, because the seasoning is going to break down the cell wall, and then all the liquid's going to come out, okay? So what we want to do is we want to sear the mushroom that's soaked up the butter. We want to sear the mushrooms, get them real brown on the outside first. Then once they have color, then we're going to season, okay? And lower the heat and add the herbs, so that way when the mushroom juices come out, they blend with the butter, which will be released again, and then you'll have this wonderful mushroom butter sauce. See what I'm saying? Yep. But in the meantime, in fact, I'm even going to crank this pan all the way up to high, because I want it smoking, I want it seared. You'll actually hear them squeaking like they're screaming in pain. It's great. It's like being a medieval torturer. But just keep moving them, keep moving them, keep moving them. And we don't want to add the garlic at first, because we got the pan really high. We want the garlic to burn. Right. But once we get the color and the now see, look, check this out. This is what's so cool about mushrooms. See how they're starting to look wet now? Starting to look a little moist? They're starting to give up their liquid. First they were real dry. They soaked up the butter. Now they're starting to look moist. See how I've got the brown? Get that brown going? We're going to get a little more brown. And I put a lot of seasoning on the steak, so I'm not going to season these very aggressively. I'm going to be real mellow with it. See that beautiful color? The brown color? That's what you want. In fact, you hold the pan down like this, and you don't take it off the heat. Just kind of do that. See, there's smoke. There we go. Now what we're going to do, and I'm sorry, Chef Jay, but I'm going to do this. He came over one time on the line, Chef Jay Knickerbocker, he's like, Jesus, how much damn garlic are you putting in those dishes? He's like, what the hell's wrong with you? He's like, this much garlic in any dish. But guess what, Chef Jay? I can't help myself. So now we're gonna pop the garlic. That's gonna release the flavor. Look at that brown. Look at that brown. See that? Now we're gonna add a little bit of salt. Just a little bit. And of course the pepper. There we go, baby. Yeah. Now we're talking. Now we want to slow down the pan. So we're just gonna hit it with a blast of wine, because that's going to lower the heat, okay? Lower the heat. You're going to turn off the burner. You're going to add the butter. Boom. You're going to add the herbs. Boom. And there you go. Sauteed mushrooms in the style of Louis Benton Steakhouse. Now that butter is going to slowly melt. The herb flavor is going to be released. And we're going to just put that right over the steak. Off the heat. These guys are continuing to rest. In 5 minutes, we'll cut into it and see if I'm worth the shit, and if I got this temp right. And the crowning glory, as Maria would say, the sauteed mushrooms. Okay.
Definitely.
And then we're gonna toss a salad, throw that on the plate, and then we'll be good to go.